Hey everyone, I'm Manoj Kumar and I teach economics for class 11 and 12. Today in this session we will be talking about consumers equilibrium, which is the second chapter of the microeconomics for class 11. In this chapter we will try to find out which price and what quantity gives maximum satisfaction to the consumer. Why a consumer is there in the marketplace? A consumer is there in the marketplace because he or she is looking for satisfying his or her needs or wants. And the consumer is not only looking for satisfaction, he is looking for maximum satisfaction. So we will try to figure out which price and which quantity gives maximum satisfaction to the consumer and how and why a consumer is able to reach his equilibrium, a point of consumption where he or she derives maximum satisfaction. So, why a consumer is there in the marketplace? A consumer is there in the marketplace because he or she looks for maximum satisfaction of needs or wants. A consumer is there in the marketplace to satisfy his or her needs or wants, and he is looking for maximum satisfaction. Clear? So, what is the difference between needs and wants? Needs are something which is unavoidable. It is a necessity. We can't avoid it. Wants is something which we desire. For example, someone has bought a small car, entry level car. When his or her income increases, he aspires for a bigger car. The income increases more, he is looking for a luxury car. I am wearing a watch. As my income increases, I will go for superior watch. So, that is not a necessity, but something, a desire inside the consumer. That fine, if my income increases, I will go for a superior version of a product, of a commodity. So, that is wants, and needs is something which we can't avoid, it is a necessity. So, we must be very clear about needs or wants. You can take any example. And this satisfaction, how do we express this satisfaction in economics? This satisfaction is expressed as utility in economics. This utility is a general word which we often use. We keep something with us until and unless it has some utility. The moment it becomes of no utility, we sell it to the kabadiwala. So, utility is also, we can say in Hindi, it is upyogita. Once something is of value, we will keep it. The moment we think that it is useless, of no value, we dispose it off, sell it to kabadiwala. So, this satisfaction is expressed in terms of utility. Like we have one word dearness which is used for mahgai in common language. The persons who are employed, they get dearness allowance, mahgai bhatta. So, for mahgai we use dearness. But in economics, instead of this word dearness, we use inflation. We use inflation instead of dearness. Similarly, here in economics, Now onwards, instead of using this word satisfaction, we will be using the word utility. And what is utility? Utility is nothing but needs or wants satisfying power of a commodity. What is utility? It is needs or wants satisfying power of a commodity. It is needs or wants satisfying power of a commodity. Clear? So, a consumer is there in the marketplace because he has certain needs and wants, and he or she is looking for maximum satisfaction of his or her needs and wants. And how this satisfaction is expressed? It is expressed in terms of utility. And what is this utility? This is needs or wants satisfying power of a commodity. Clear? So, now how does a consumer expresses his or her utility? How do I express it? So, there are this utility is expressed in two ways. This utility is expressed in two ways. One is cardinal utility and another is ordinal utility. Now this word cardinal and ordinal, it has come from mathematics. It is there perhaps in class 6 or 7 when we come across this word cardinal and ordinal in mathematics. So, when we say cardinal utility, when we use the word cardinal, what we are looking for is, we are looking for a number 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So, this cardinal is expressed in number and this ordinal is expressed in rank, order or place, like first, second, third and so on. The best example to understand it is the roll number and the merit list. How do we call roll numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on. And how do we call rank? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So, rank or merit list is expressed in ordinal, first, second, third, fourth, and roll number is expressed in cardinal, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, a consumer expresses his or her utility by either giving it a number, usually on a scale of 1 to 10. Like in higher studies or earlier in board exams, instead of giving the number, they used to give grade and CGPA from 1 to 10. Students were given a scorecard by rating them between a scale of 1 to 10, which was known as CGPA. So, a consumer, if he or she derives maximum satisfaction, good enough satisfaction, he or she might give it a 10 or 9 or 8, or if the satisfaction derived is not good enough, then he might give it 1, 2, 3. For example, how do you take my class? If I ask you to rate my class, would you give me 8, 9, 10 or would you give me 2, 3, 4? We often use this in surveys when we are asked to rate performance of a government or our Prime Minister or Chief Minister by giving them a number on a scale of 1 to 10. And when we express this cardinal utility in number, its unit is its unit is utils. Its unit is utils. And then we have ordinal number, like for example, we are talking about three different players: Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Sachin Tendulkar. Now, instead of giving them a number, if there are 5 students, I ask them to rank them. For someone, Virat Kohli may be first. For another, Rohit Sharma may be first. For still another, Sachin Tendulkar will be first. So they give their preference, they give their utility by assigning a rank to a particular commodity. For example, someone went to a ice cream parlor. He asked, "Do you have vanilla flavor?" Shopkeeper said no. The customer came out. Another one comes. He asks, "Do you have vanilla flavor?" No. "Do you have strawberry?" Yes. Just give it to me. The third one comes. "Do you have vanilla flavor?" No. "Do you have strawberry?" No. Give anyone. So for the first one, who was looking for vanilla, didn't find it, went back. That was the first and only choice. For the second, who opted for a strawberry, when he didn't find vanilla, strawberry was the second number. And the third one who came, he asked for vanilla, no. Strawberry, no. Give anyone. On third, he has no choice. So that is how a consumer expresses his utility, his satisfaction. Clear? I hope now it is clear what is meant by cardinal utility and what is meant by ordinal utility. A consumer expresses his satisfaction, his utility by assigning a particular number, which is known as cardinal utility, usually on a scale of 1 to 10. Another way to express it is by giving them a preference, a rank or order. Clear? Fine. Now, how do we find consumer's equilibrium? What are the approaches of finding a consumer's equilibrium? What are the different approaches to find consumer's equilibrium? If we are using cardinal utility approach, then we have 3 different ways through which we can find consumer's equilibrium. One is total utility, marginal utility approach. Another is law of diminishing marginal utility. These 2 approaches are for one commodity only. The consumer is consuming one commodity only. If the consumer is consuming 2 commodities, then we have law of equimarginal utility. So when we are using cardinal utility, assigning the utility a number, then we have these 3 approaches: total utility, marginal utility approach, law of diminishing marginal utility, and law of equal marginal utility. Then when we are using ordinal utility approach, we find consumer's equilibrium through indifference curve, budget line analysis approach. We find consumer's equilibrium through indifference curve, budget line analysis approach. As we move ahead, we will see what is indifference curve, what is budget line, and how do we combine these two to find consumer's equilibrium. Clear? Clear? Fine. Now, what is total utility and what is marginal utility? What is total utility and what is marginal utility? We have 2 words: total utility and marginal utility. So total utility is the utility derived by consumption of all the units of a commodity. What is total utility? It is the utility derived by consumption of all the units of a commodity. For example, if I eat 5 ice creams, how much utility do I derive by consuming 5 ice creams? That is total utility. Clear? And what is marginal utility? Marginal utility is defined as the utility derived by consumption of one additional unit of a commodity. Whenever you see the word marginal, what we mean is we are talking about one additional unit. One additional unit. Whenever you find marginal word in economics, you will find it marginal utility, marginal cost, marginal product. So whenever we are talking about marginal, we mean by one additional unit. So total utility is the utility derived by consumption of all the units of a commodity, and marginal utility is the utility derived by consumption of one additional unit of a commodity. Clear? Now how it works, let us see. Please remember that we are talking about either consumption of ice cream or we are talking about study hours. How much hours do I sit in one sitting? Someone may be sitting for 1 hour at a stretch, then takes a break. Another may sit for 2 hours, still another may sit for 3 or 4 hours. So here we have quantity, here we have total utility, and here we have marginal utility. This marginal utility is derived by this formula. MUN equal to TUN minus TUN minus 1, where N is the number of quantity. So here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since we are not consuming any commodity, total utility is 0, marginal utility is 0. As we consume first unit, the total utility I derive, I give it a number on a scale of 1 to 10, let us say 8. For first unit, total utility and marginal utility is same. This is also 8. When I consume second unit, this total utility increases to 14. Now how do we find marginal utility for the second unit? We put the number 2 instead of n. So this is MU2 equal to TU2 minus TU2 minus 1 equal to 1. TU2 is 14, TU1 is 8, so this is 6. So marginal utility of second unit is 6. What we mean is, I have already consumed 1 unit. When I consume second unit, I derive 6 utility out of it. And when we add 6 into 8, it becomes 14. When I consume third unit, it is 18. When I consume fourth unit, it is 20. When I consumed fifth unit, it is also 20, and then it is 18. I will let you see how it works. Now let us find out MU for third unit, that is 18 minus 14, this is 4. For fourth unit, this is 20 minus 18, this is 2. For fifth unit, 20 minus 20 is 0. And for sixth unit, 18 minus 20 equal to minus 2. Now if I eat ice cream. I went to a party. There was a stall for ice cream. I ate 5 ice cream. Someone ate 3, another one ate 2. As I said, someone studies for 2 hours, someone for 1 hour, still another for 3 hours. So why do we stop studying after 2 hours? Why do we stop studying after 3 hours? The reason is, if I have already studied for 2 hours, I will be, for example, if I study for 3 hours, in the first hour, I will be most productive, will grasp, understand whatever I study. In the second hour, my attention, my grasping ability will decrease as compared to the first hour, and as we move into third hour, it gets further reduced, and by the end of it, I think that if I study more, there is chances that I might forget all that I have understood, all that I have learned. So if I go beyond third hour, I gets into minus territory. I gets into minus territory. So I stop reading. So as we begin in the first hour of study, I was most productive. In second hour, I was still productive, but it got decreased. In third hour, it got further decreased. In fourth hour, I stopped. I gave you reasons why do I stop after third hour. Clear? So when someone consumes first unit of ice cream, he derives maximum utility, that is 8. For second unit, it is 6. For third unit, it is 4. For fourth unit, it is 2. And for fifth unit, it is 0. And sixth unit, it is minus 2. So what do you think? What is the equilibrium? What is the equilibrium point for a consumer? The equilibrium point for a consumer is at a point of consumption where total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. Where is the consumer's equilibrium? Consumer's equilibrium is at a point where total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. If you look at this table, the total utility is maximum here and marginal utility is 0 here. So this fifth unit is the consumer's equilibrium. He will go on consuming up to fifth unit. He will not consume sixth unit because he will get into minus territory. If I eat more than 5 ice creams, I might fear that I might catch cold or my tonsil might get affected. If I study beyond 3 hours, whatever I have understood and learnt, I might forget that. So I get into minus territory. Clear? So under TU-MU approach, total utility and marginal utility approach, consumer's equilibrium is at a point where total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. Now a question arises. At fourth unit as well, the total utility is 20. So why fourth unit is not my equilibrium? Fourth unit is not my equilibrium because by consuming fourth unit, I am still deriving some marginal utility. I am still in positive category. I am studying and I am learning. I am understanding. So I will go on. So why the consumer does not stop at 4, whereas the total utility is 20 here as well? Because by consuming fourth unit, the consumer is still deriving some marginal utility. But at fifth unit, the marginal utility is 0. Clear? So under TU-MU approach, the consumer's equilibrium is at a point where total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. Now, this is the table. Now, let us see how the diagram work. What does the diagram shows when we chart it in a diagram? So, here on x-axis we are showing quantity. Instead of x I am writing q, it means quantity. Here we have origin and here we have Tu and Mu. Here we have Tu and Mu. So what happens? Tu increases like this. It has a Tu is maximum here, and just below it, where Tu is maximum, marginal utility is Mu is 0, and this is fifth unit. This is fifth unit where the consumers find his or her equilibrium. Now, if you have a look at it, let us assume that we are at a point of consumption here. Now, if you are here, this is the total utility, here we have total utility, and this is the quantity, change in quantity, and this is change in total utility. If we take this one, this is change in total utility. So, by consuming less quantity of the commodity, we are getting maximum total utility. And if we go from here to here, this range, then the change in total utility is only this. So, we increase more, we consume more, but we derive less total utility. That is what is happening over here. Initially, first unit gives 8 total utility, then it is 6, and thereafter it keeps on falling. Clear? And consumer's equilibrium is at a point where total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. Clear? And this is the fifth unit, and this is the consumer's equilibrium. This is the consumer's equilibrium. Clear? Now, what is the behavior of Tu and Mu? Tu rises at an increasing rate. Initially Tu rises at an increasing rate, then its rate of increase diminishes. This is the first stage where Tu initially rises at an increasing rate. From here to here, it is still rising, but its rate of increase has diminished. Then it reaches its maximum and then begins to fall. Clear? I will explain it once again. Initially, Tu increases with an increasing rate. Then its rate of increase diminishes. It is still rising, but its rate diminishes. It reaches its maximum and then begins to decline. This is the behavior of total utility. And what is the behavior of marginal utility? Marginal utility keeps on falling. Marginal utility keeps on falling with consumption of each successive unit of a commodity. As I said, something which we do have, its utility is less. If I don't have something, its utility is more. That is what they say, ghar ki murgi dal barabar in Hindi. Clear? And then comes what is the relation between total utility and marginal utility. When total utility is maximum, marginal utility is 0. When total utility begins to decline, marginal utility turns negative. When total utility is maximum, marginal utility is 0. When total utility begins to decline, marginal utility turns negative here. Initially it rises with an increasing rate, then its rate diminishes, it reaches its maximum, then begins to decline, and from where it declines, marginal utility turns negative. One more thing, let us talk about third unit. If we add up all the marginal utility up to third unit, that is 8 plus 6 plus 4, this is 8 plus 6 14 plus 4 18. Here total utility is 18. If we take up to fourth unit, this is 8 plus 6 14 plus 4 8 plus 2 20, this is 20, total utility is 20 over here. So total utility is the sum of marginal utility. When we add up marginal utility up to a certain unit of consumption, it will be equal to total utility of that particular unit. So this is all about finding consumer's equilibrium through total utility marginal utility approach. This is something which is interesting for even ordinary citizen, ordinary people, and we can relate ourselves with this in a very practical way. I gave you examples of ice cream, I gave you examples of study hours, I said ghar ki murgi dal barabar. So this was all about finding consumer's equilibrium through total utility marginal utility approach. In our next session, next video, we will be talking about law of diminishing marginal utility and law of equal marginal utility. In our next session, we will be talking about the other two approaches of finding consumer's equilibrium when we are using cardinal utility approach. One is law of diminishing marginal utility, that is for one commodity, and then we have law of equal marginal utility for two commodities. I hope I was able to put across things in a way, in a manner where you can understand it, you can relate from your own experiences and be very clear what is how we are able to find consumer's equilibrium, a point of consumption where the satisfaction for consumer is at the maximum level. Thank you.